Welcome to the Kitchen Takeover on the Old Fashioned Health Network. I am your host, Ariadne Joseph. And so today I'm here to tell you all about my show, The Kitchen Takeover. I actually came up with the idea of the show with a good friend of mine. We were talking about the transition that we're seeing now with veganism. People moving and transitioning into veganism, but not quite knowing and understanding how to do it. Well, this show is going to tell you all about how to do that, the how-tos, what to add to your diet rather than taking away, because becoming a vegan or a vegetarian is definitely a journey, right? And so with these journeys, there are things that you're learning through trial and error. And so there are a lot of things that I've learned through trial and error, what to eat, what not to eat, even concerning vegetables, what are good for you, what's not good for you, what has this nutrient, so on and so forth. And so I'm all about building the body from the inside out. That is the whole, my mission as a vegan chef. As a vegan who have been vegan for 4 years, I started out as a vegetarian 7 years ago and decided to become vegan, and then I became alkaline vegan, which is only eating foods that are considered alkaline. That's Dr. Sebi, if any of you are familiar with Dr. Sebi. With the show, what I'm going to do is help my viewers understand how to transition by teaching you very easy, delicious and very nutritious recipes. So just giving you a little understanding about what I mean when I say nutritious. So if you're eating say for instance butternut squash, right? Butternut squash is full of B vitamins. B vitamins are good for building muscle. They're amino acids, B2, B6, B3, B12, full of B vitamins. Same thing with quinoa, same thing with wild rice. Of course, wild rice is not actually rice, it's a grass. Quinoa is not actually a grain, which is a big misconception. That is actually a seed. And our bodies process seeds better than it does nuts. Don't get me wrong, nuts are good for you, but only when soaked, and they call that sprouted. So it's best to soak your nuts maybe 7 hours before eating. And it's actually easier on the digestive system. Another thing is, you always get the question as a vegan, where do you get your protein? I get my protein from my plants. So from this head of broccoli, this head of broccoli actually has 3 times more protein than a 16-ounce steak. Absolutely. Now, of course, you can't get all of this in a serving, and I wouldn't recommend it. Just getting half, because it's 3 times the protein. So getting half is what? 1.5 of your daily amount of protein you're getting from a half of this head of broccoli. So that's where your protein comes from. It comes from your plants. And there's protein in everything. There's protein in quinoa. There's protein in wild rice. There's protein in portobello mushrooms, which also contains macronutrients. Macronutrient, what is that? That is fat, that is protein, and that is carbohydrates. The body needs all 3. And when it's added with some type of oil, say for instance olive oil, grapeseed oil, that fat compound, because it's water soluble and fat soluble, so you actually get more nutrients from it when you mix it with an oil, which is why I cook a lot of my foods and vegetables with oils. Grapeseed oil happens to be my favorite, which is also considered alkaline. And so, like I said, on the show, we're going to teach you how to transition by helping you understand what you can add to your diet to kind of substitute for some of the things that you do use. So say, for instance, butter. Instead of using butter, you use oil. Instead of using eggs, you can use applesauce for baking. Yes, I said applesauce. Tastes amazing, I promise. So join me on the Kitchen Takeover on the Old Fashioned Health Network. Again, my name is Ariadne Joseph, your host, and I hope to see you soon.